Good evening. Welcome to your evening newscast for today, Tuesday, August 2nd. With your news at this time, my name is Joshua Van Slykeman. Amid the breakneck speed with which the Irfan Ali administration has been undertaking a number of civil projects, Kaieteur News publisher and businessman Glenn Lal has raised concerns about the exorbitant costs for some of these contracts and also lamented the lack of transparency in the deals. For years, Mr. Lal and other civil society groups, both locally and overseas, have flagged massive corruption in this country. Only recently, Article 13 co-founder Dr. Yogma Hadio said corruption was once again reaching dangerous levels here, making reference to the damning allegations disclosed during a Vice News expose on Vice President Barrett Jagdeo and the PPPC government. Last year, Guyana dropped 2 points on the Transparency International Corruption Index, meaning that corruption in the country's public sector has climbed after a full year under the PPP government. When the PPPC demitted office back in 2015, the country was scoring below 30 points. However, during the years of the APNU AFC, that score steadily improved, reaching 41. Police are investigating the murder of Rodwell Phillips, called Fishy, a 33-year-old mason of Broad Street, Charlestown, whose body was seen lying at the Le Penitence Public Road next to a cutlass early Monday morning. The incident occurred sometime between 30 minutes after midnight to 1 a.m. Police said in a statement the scene was preceded by investigators, and Phillips's body was examined and chop wounds were seen at the center of his chest, his right side face, his left side back, and one chop wound to his left foot. Several persons were questioned in the area, and police said, adding that CCTV footage obtained is to be viewed. The Guyana Public Service Union is reminding the government about the power public servants hold and is warning them to treat public workers better, lest they want to return to the 1999 when workers caused the shutdown of public services by staying away from work. The GPSU last week filed documents to have the court instruct the Irfan Ali administration to engage in legally required collective bargaining talks regarding workers' wages and salaries. GPSU President Patrick Yard lashed out at the administration last Friday for continuously and deliberately denying the required talks and imposing increases on state employees. After 2 years in office, the People's Progressive Party, PPP, has not only refused to keep its manifesto promise to renegotiate the 2016 oil contract, but has now taken on the role of defending the deal and its partners, American oil major ExxonMobil. Leading up to the 2020 election, the party won in opposition, excited the Guyanese people with its plans to bring back the oil company to the table. The citizens still remain desperate for changes to the deal that the former APNU AFC coalition had entered into with the oil company. Soon after taking office, the ministers along with the head of state, Irfan Ali, have turned their faces to another direction, insisting that the deal simply cannot be changed to maintain the sanctity of contracts. For a government that boasts of transparency and accountability, these two important pillars are grossly lacking, especially in the local management of the oil and gas sector. This is the view of Dr. Yogma Hadio, a founding member of civil society organization Article 13. Mahadio, a stern activist for transparency, has flagged the fact that Guyanese will be paying for a $1.3 billion pipeline to transport natural gas from the Liza 1 and 2 fields in the Stabroek Block to Wales on the west bank of Demerara. However, the oil company, ExxonMobil, has moved to award the contract for these works, all behind closed doors. It was last week that Subsea 7 and Van Oord, two international companies, were awarded the job. Mahadio explained that in an exclusive interview with Kaieteur News yesterday that the oil company has not only chosen a firm to conduct the works without the knowledge of Guyanese citizen, but also done it so without the first attaining the approval required by the Environmental Protection Agency. And finally, at this time, Emancipation Day is celebrated annually on the first day of August. It is the day that the heroes of the past slave rebellions that ushered into the end of the slave trade and brought freedom to the enslaved are celebrated. The celebration followed the general concept initiated by slaves freed on the memorable day, August 1, 1838, 100, I beg your pardon, 184 years ago, where African menus are locally produced and locally produced drinks, wines, and spirits were enjoyed amongst singing of emancipation song. The GPSU therefore calls on the government of Guyana to do its part on the public service, which culturally was largely populated by descendants of the abused. The government should ensure that it sees its current political victimization of the public service because of its traditional composition and yield to the tenets of Article 38G of the Constitution of Guyana.